In this video, I'm going to introduce TailWind, which is another AI tool from MaxQDA and less well known than AI Assist. So TailWind is like AI Assist cousin. It's helping you do slightly different things at different steps in your project. It's a standalone also, so it's on the web. This is a web browser without needing MaxQDA and without needing a MaxQDA's license. So what is it useful for? That's the main question. And why is it different from AI Assist for research projects? So both systems, so AI Assist and TailWind, use large language models, LLMs, to summarize and to analyze text. But they are doing different things at a different stage of the project. So we're going to look at this in more detail, but basically TailWind is going to be helpful mostly at the beginning of the project in the exploratory phase to create summaries and synthesis by topic. So it's more a thematic exploration of the corpus. And also, it's going to be helpful to identify the main themes in your data, so the main topics covered. AI Assist is going to be more useful later in the project to help with coding, summarizing, synthesizing, exploring documents, like looking for details, these kind of things. Before we look at all of this in TailWind and at what it can do in detail, just let's have a look at the technical details, where to find TailWind and how much it costs. So where is TailWind hidden? It's not in MaxQDA's interface. AI Assist is the assistant that's integrated into MaxQDA, so in the software, in the application. TailWind is linked to MaxQDA and built by MaxQDA, but it's outside the application. It's outside the software, so you have to go on MaxQDA's website to find TailWind. So yeah, AI Assist is an add-on to MaxQDA in MaxQDA, for which you need a license. And TailWind is a standalone application, web-based, so you can use it without a MaxQDA license just by going on the web. So how much does all of this cost? AI Assist is available both in a free version with a limited number of prompts and requests per day, but it's still quite reasonable. And also with a paid version, about I think 20 euros or US per month with an unlimited access. TailWind is a bit more expensive and it has a 7-day free trial with just a few documents, and after that you have to pay. So AI Assist is limited by days, so it's going back to full capacity every day, and TailWind is just 7-day free trial. After that you have to pay. So TailWind is also more expensive than AI Assist. We're talking here about 50 euros or US dollars per month. So basically, I think 70 Canadian dollars. So it's a bit more of an investment, a bit more expensive, but it can be useful at specific steps in your project. So maybe you can just use it for a month and then that's it. AI Assist is going to be useful for a longer time in your project, I think. So how can TailWind help you with your research? And at what stage of the project is it going to help? So basically, how does it compare and complement AI Assist? That's the interesting question. AI Assist is going to help with a few things during the analysis you're doing in the software. So summarizing documents, summarizing themes, codes, creating codes and subcodes, coding, and also chatting with the document. So it's focused on in-depth work with coding during the analysis in the documents and coded extracts. But TailWind is more, well, I think, in my opinion, is more of an assistant for the beginning of the research. So the exploration when you're starting your research, during the preparation, the familiarization stage of a project. Some of the functions are the same as AI assist, like summarizing, chatting with documents, but some are more specific to thematic analysis, and especially useful at the beginning. So it's going to help you summarize documents like AI assist, but also, and maybe more interesting, to produce thematic summaries about specific topics, so reports here. So you can ask questions about a specific topic, and you're going to get like a long, detailed, and structured answer like this with TailWind. AI Assist can answer questions of like this in the chat, but you're not going to get a long, detailed, structured answer like this with sections, subsections, and really deep analysis of a specific topic. TailWind is also going to help identifying the main themes in a project in your documents. So the themes that are recurring in the documents, and to summarize these, like you can see here. And this can be done automatically and also manually. You can add some topics manually in here. Summaries can also be created in the form of summary tables, so basically the same thing than in MaxQDA. And what else? Yeah, in all the summaries, the reports, and everything, you're going to have links to the documents like this, so you can click on them and go back to your documents. So TailWind is always quoting the sources and the relevant things. And one of the big advantage is that if you use TailWind at the beginning of the project and MaxQDA later, you can export your project from TailWind and open it straight in MaxQDA. So once you've finished exploring it with TailWind, just you go back here to your projects and click here, export project for MaxQDA, and then you go back to MaxQDA and you open your project. So this is going to keep the themes defined with TailWinds like this as codes. So these are going to be your codes, and it's also going to import your documents. Then you're going to be able to code and to do the analysis with more advanced tool in MaxQDA. So it's going to create the codes, but not do the coding. For that, you have to move to MaxQDA. So how does it work? Start here. So MaxQDA's website, create a new project. Put a description, pick the language, create that. And then open your new project, import some data here. So I'm just going to take a few files, not the whole thing, well, maybe 10. Yeah. So I'm not cutting the video, so you can see how long it's actually taking. So here are your documents, and see that you can ask a summary for every one of the documents and see how fast it is. So that's your document here, the content of your document, and that's the automatic summary. So it's quite long, as you can see, and you can click here and go back to the sources. You always have links to the documents. So you can do that for all your documents. You can also find topics here. So here again, I'm not cutting the video, so you can see how long it's going to take. Here we go. So these are your topics, the suggested topics. So you can pick which ones you want to keep or not, and click Add Topics. So here you have your topic, the description, and if you change the description, it's going to impact the summary in progress. Oops, did not want to do that. So it's TailWind is working at the moment to summarize these 3 new topics. And here we go. So you can see that for each topic, you have a full description, like a full report actually, with different subtopics in here. And what else? Yeah, the reports, well, the summary table. So that's the same tool that in MaxQDA. So you can have a look at that in MaxQDA. And the reports here, you can really ask specific questions, like can you write a report on, okay, that's a corpus on life satisfaction. So maybe write a report about how the family impacts the life satisfaction, this kind of things. So you're going to have all kind of reports here. And you can also chat with your document. So that's kind of the same thing than in MaxQDA with AI Assist. So I'm not explaining that in detail. And then go back here, export your project for MaxQDA and open it in MaxQDA. So you see that they can be really complementary, MaxQDA and TailWind, and well, AI Assist, TailWind and MaxQDA. So TailWind is best for kind of rapid pre-processing of qualitative data. So especially when there is a lot of it and you don't have much time, so you can get familiar with the data and prepare for more in-depth analysis. And then you move to MaxQDA, so the desktop app with AI Assist if you want, and start your in-depth analysis. So the coding using more complex analysis tools, visualization tool, variables, mixed methods, and everything you need in MaxQDA. So the workflow for combining the 2 tools is to use TailWind at the beginning to identify themes and summarize the data, to ask specific questions. Then you export that to MaxQDA and you can start to code and the in-depth analysis. So yeah, what you start doing in TailWind is automatically going to be identified as themes in your documents and creating codes with corresponding to these themes. Then you can continue in MaxQDA. So export the whole thing, find your documents, find your themes as codes, and then you keep analyzing with MaxQDA, start coding, and everything. So in summary, TailWind is best for a quick exploration and themes identification at the beginning, then MaxQDA for in-depth analysis, so coding, analyzing, adding variables, visualization. So this can be a very, very effective combination for saving time at the beginning of a project. So that's it. I think you're ready to start a new project with MaxQDA, and this time you have a team of super efficient research assistants with TailWind and AI Assist.